Hey guys, how are you doing today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I spend an ungodly amount of time on YouTube and the internet, as most of us do. And sometimes on my own videos, sometimes on other people's videos, I will see many people asking for templates. And while I do understand, I do get it, let me explain to you why you should not use someone else's template. There are some exceptions, of course, as usual. For example, if I were to release a template of my bass and my drums only, it would sound exactly the same no matter where you put it, as long as you have Reaper, because I use Reaper. Those variables aren't going to change, it's always going to be the same. However, when it comes to guitar, there is a plethora wrong with that. Speaking as someone who has deeply desired someone else's templates before in the past, upon trying some of them, most of them, all of them, I never got good results. And it's the same with amp sims when you go through different presets. What sounds good for me will not sound good for you, very possibly. I can use Buster's preset for Gojira and it'll sound amazing for him, but for me, it'll sound just kind of weak. It'll sound very flubby, maybe. And that has a lot to do with how you set up your recordings, how hot your input is going into your interface, how hot it is leaving the interface, how gain staging. Not to mention, a lot of these things are recorded with very specific gear. If you don't have the same preamps, it may not have a super huge difference. However, your guitar does. The way you play does. How hard you play does. You don't know if the person who made the template is using external gear to help the DI sound better when it's going into the DAW. So for example, if I was using a compressor, like the Clarett compressor, obviously that's going to greatly affect how I process the signal after it's recorded. You probably have not the same pickups as the other person, and even if you did, for example, my Strandberg back there has the same exact pickups as my bandmate's Axion from Ibanez. And let me tell you, I can make my Strandberg sound sick, but I cannot make the Axion sound sick. There's always really weird, indescribable, for whatever reason, variables that play a very, very big part in how your recordings sound and how your mixes sound. Not to mention all of the known variables on why it sounds the way it sounds, so like mixing and all that. And just to prove it to you, I have set up a test here and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So with this sample, I have no post-production anywhere. I just have straight drums, bass, guitar. And this was specifically mixed for my instrument, for my input. And if you compare that with the same exact template, it's going to be much, much different when you have someone else's DIs, but the same exact bass and drums. The drum map was a little weird there, so that's probably why it was a little ding-ding-ding-ding. But you can really hear it when I solo the guitar specifically. So this is someone else's DI once more through the amp processing. Compared to my DIs that I specifically made this template for. And so you can really hear it's massively different. Even if I take away any of the amp processing and strictly only listen to the DI, compared to someone else's DI, and so you can definitely tell their signal is already so much hotter. It's so much more like distortion in it, not in a bad way, but it's very, very different compared to And as you can see down here, I have both of these set to 0. I adjusted nothing. There's absolutely nothing going on that changes it. There is some automation here, but again, that's all turned off. And so you can really, really see with this example, they both sound good, but one just feels more complete. It feels more wide. It feels more impactful because it was specifically designed with that level of signal, with that exact DI, with that exact processing. And this isn't to say templates are a terrible thing. You should never buy one. You should never try one. If you don't want to mix your own bass and guitar, more power to you, man. I don't either. But you should, at the very least, have the knowledge necessary to adjust any of these variables, because there is a lot. You should be able to build your own really nice guitar tone from scratch and just mix it into that template. That's exactly what I did with this one. I made a sick bass mix. I used Old Home Drums, which is pre-mixed, and now I can put that on anything I want and just mix a guitar tone into it and it'll sound great. But if I don't know how to do the guitar tone, it's just kind of not gonna work. It's too inconsistent. That being said, I will shill once. If you want to watch how I get my guitar tones, it's in that corner right there. Okay, I'll shill twice. Discord link is in the description. If you want to catch me on my streams where I either do mix critiques, song writing, mixing, whatever really. I do that on Saturdays, sort of around 1:30 p.m. PST. Not really set, but every Saturday. Been consistent so far. Nothing has stopped me yet. So I guess I shilled 3 times. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's just some stuff to keep in mind because I want you to succeed. I want you to make great music, and I want you to share your music with the world and not get stuck like I did for so long. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.